My name is Emily Tulloch. I'm a media specialist here at SCTV, and I'm also a filmmaker. And I am joined here by one of my best friends and also award-winning New England filmmaker, Gabrielle Rawson. Thank you for joining me here today.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We have a really exciting special program for you this holiday season. I'm going to pass it over to you to kind of explain what we're doing.
So what we're doing is our own version of a classic YouTube show called Hot Ones, where the host, Sean Evans, interviews celebrity guests, and as he asks them questions, they eat increasingly spicier hot wings. But we're going to do it with a twist.
We're going to do it with a twist because it's a holiday season. We want to give back here. So SCTV has coordinated with Sue Morancic, who does social services at the Center for Active Living. And we will be giving a grant to a Sandwich elder to help pay for their fuel bill this month. So
Incredible.
We're eating Hot Ones for a cause, and it's really exciting. We have our sauces here, so it goes from mild all the way to very, very, very spicy. And in between each chicken wing, which are vegan, by the way, these are vegan chicken wings. So in between each chicken wing, we'll be asking each other questions. And this will be primarily based on our film careers because we're at a TV station, so we thought, hey, let's ask each other questions.
Entertainment,
okay, more broad, entertainment. So Gabby, I think you're going to be asking the first question. Now, do you want to eat the chicken wing and then ask the question?
Yeah, because I think it's funnier if we talk with our mouths full.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. No, what do you think?
Okay, here, I'll explain. For the first hot sauce we're going to be eating, this is called Banshee Ranch Hot Pepper Sauce. So I'm excited about this one.
Don't start. Wait, okay,
yeah,
that's your number one.
More mild, yeah. So we'll eat, and then you'll ask the question?
Sure.
Okay.
That's not spicy.
It's very mild. Okay, we start out more mild. Yeah.
I do taste.
It's really yummy. Ranchy.
All right.
Okay.
My first question for you. So Emily, you've been in media for years, and you've always been a storyteller. Can you talk about all the film projects you're up to now? And tell us what it is you love so much about filmmaking.
Well, you nailed it. What I love about filmmaking is the storytelling. I've always been a storyteller. Ever since I was really little, I would always put on shows. I would dress up and put on shows and entertain my whole family. So I just knew that I liked expressing myself that way. All the projects I'm up to now, 2023 has been really busy for me in a lot of good ways. I did a second episode of my TV show called Channel 92, which is about a group of workers who are dealing with chaotic antics inside a public access TV station. So we filmed episode 2, and Gabby is in it as well. I was really excited to get her on screen for that one. So we filmed episode 2 in June. Following that, in July, I began to work on a pilot for a sketch show for a comedy group in Boston called Oh God No. So I wrote a bunch of sketches. Pretty similar to Tim Robinson's I Think You Should Leave. They're kind of sketches, but then they have like a through line throughout the episode. So we filmed that. Then I filmed 2 horror shorts. One very impromptu called Motherhood. You can find that on my YouTube channel. And then a second one called Consumed. We filmed that in September. Gabby helped me with that too. And I'm not going to give away anything on that, but Brian Hill, who also works here, is the lead of that. So that's a cool little horror short. So I've had 4 film projects that I've been working on, and I just started last week working on a new script for another short based on all of the chaos of my life in 2023, because I've had a lot of transitions and changes and all of that. So I'm
a comedy, I hope.
Absurdist comedy with some horror elements.
Okay, I love it.
A perfect blend of me, I think. So I started beginning that, and I plan to film that in the spring of 2024. So
love it.
Lots of projects.
I hope I can help.
Of course. Oh, you better.
And did you say why you love it?
Why I love it? I guess
like the medium.
Like
why do you love film?
Film
versus say theater.
That's true. I guess I love it because I grew up always loving to watch movies. I've gained a lot myself from watching movies. I like seeing stories and characters that I can relate to. Or just, I love having my comfort movies to put on when I'm having a really bad day. I have like a top 5 of comfort movies if I'm having a really bad day or I'm really stressed out, really sad, that I put on. I know how much I get from watching movies. And when I'm creating, I hope that, I don't care if I'm rich and famous, but it would be cool if even just a few people watched my things and were like, wow, I got a lot from that, whether they hated it or whether they loved it. I don't really care. If I'm evoking some emotions in people, that's really, I love it. I thrive on it. So
Wonderful. I love that.
Cool. Yeah, that's
Nice.
it. All right, we'll move on to the
Sure.
second wing. Okay, so this one is ghost pepper. I do not know how to pronounce any of that, but it's ghost pepper, savory Indian spices, and a tangy tomato. So it's gonna start getting a little hot. Now, if you feel like it's not hot enough for you, feel free to put more on as well.
All right. I remember last time we did this, you were putting more on every one. You were doing, so they do like a last dab on the last one, but Emily was doing it on each one.
I just like
for
to suffer.
some reason.
This is already, how, this isn't the question for you, but how do you handle spice before we get too spicy? How do you like spice?
Okay. I like spice. Wow, that is hot.
It's hitting.
I
warm.
like spice, but I'm intelligent enough to know that I shouldn't push it too far. So when I'm at a restaurant and they ask me how spicy, I usually say medium.
Medium.
3, middle of the road. Because
Yes.
then if they overcompensate, I'm like, okay, I'm not dead.
Exactly. I feel similarly. All right, now moving on to my first question for you. Similar to me, you have been in media for over 5 years now. You write, you direct, you produce, you act.
For fun.
For fun, but also you're really good at it. I know I know you're always like, ugh, but I think you're a very talented actress as well. How did you get your start in this industry? What was it
In film?
In film specifically, was it a specific situation? Was it a specific project? Just elaborate on that.
All right, 2 things first before I answer your question. That was much hotter.
That was much hotter.
Like much hotter. And also, this coffee is incredible.
Oh, thank you.
What are we drinking here? What are we
It's
drinking?
just iced coffee from the grocery store, and then I got some oat milk creamer,
Ooh.
vanilla.
It's delicious. I
Okay.
love it. I like it much more than the spicy hot wing. But
It was pretty yummy, yeah.
okay, so how did I get my start? It's kind of funny. I was like you, loved watching movies growing up. Gets like probably too much out of movies, you talked about watching the same ones over and over, and I certainly have my favorites growing up. And as I got older, I went back to college later in life, and I was always a writer growing up, but I wrote poetry and I wrote songs and music, and I dabbled with like movie ideas. I was always that person that was like, this, I could write a great sequel to this film or that, and I had ideas, but I didn't know how to go from point A to point B. So when I went to college, I started taking more creative writing classes, and at one point I took documentary filmmaking because I thought that, that would get me more into film. But then turned out all we were doing was just watching documentaries and writing about them. And I was an English major, so I wrote a lot of papers. One semester I had 18 books for one class, and all of my classes, required paper writing. So finally I had the opportunity to take a screenwriting class and more writing. They taught us how to write a screenplay. And I remember the teacher saying, is there anybody in this class who thinks they might actually try to make it? And I was working at the media center at the time, so I said, yes, I'm going to try to make my screenplay. And I think it was, at the time, it was a screenplay about a woman who had Alzheimer's. And long story short, I was an honors student, and it was time to do my honors thesis. And so I decided to make a film in protestation of writing another paper, because I knew the honors thesis paper was going to be 15, 20 pages. And I had written hundreds of papers. I mean, I was done. So I made a film. The film was, it ended up not being the one that I thought I was going to make, but it was a deeply personal story about addiction and recovery. It was loosely based on my dad, who passed away in '88. from a drug addiction and overdose, and someone who had recently died here on Cape Cod during the big heroin epidemic on Cape Cod. So it was a really great film. It was a great experience, but after 4 days of straight shooting, 10 to 14-hour days, the minute we said that's a wrap, I was like, nope, that's not a wrap for me. I want to do this for the rest of my life, and I have been doing it ever since. I've never stopped.
You really have not. Every single year you are working on 1 to 2 at least different film projects. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm sweating.
Well, it's only going to get worse as we hop to our next wing. All right, this one, I'm excited to try this one. It's Mushroom Mayhem.
I like mushrooms.
Yeah.
Mushrooms are good.
This is XXX hot.
I don't know about the mayhem part.
Mayhem.
Why'd they have to do that
I'm
to
not
the mushrooms?
sure. So let's move on to the third one.
Oh my goodness. I don't know why you had to ask me to do this with you.
There's nobody else I would have done it with.
No, I'm the only person that would have done it.
That's fair. Thank you. Thank you again, Gabby, for being here. Woo! Yeah, that's a little spicy.
Not feeling anything yet.
That one sneaks up on you, because I was like, this isn't that bad, but the more it sits on my tongue, the hotter it gets.
I don't think you put enough on mine.
By all means, help yourself to more.
No.
I did douse them all equally. I put them in a bowl.
You did?
Yeah, I put the 2 chicken wings in a bowl.
You're sweating.
I'm sweating. I'm not gonna lie. And then I doused them. So they're coated equally.
All right, you ready to answer some questions?
Yeah, I'm ready for my next one.
So people might not fully know this about you, but you've been doing improv for at least a decade. You've started multiple improv troupes, you've taught it professionally, and you're currently performing it in Boston every week at Improv Asylum. Why do you like it? No, let me rephrase the question. What goes into good improv?
Ooh.
Why do you like it, and what's next for you?
What goes into good improv? That's a really good question. Yes, I've been doing improv since college, so about 13-ish years,
Wow.
I'd have to say. I did start it in college, and I've just continued it. What goes into good improv? Anybody can do improv. It might seem like
I can't.
really I hear that a lot, and it might seem really daunting. And when I used to teach, I'd get a lot of people who had never done it before. And they did wonderfully, because at the core of it, it is unscripted, impromptu storytelling collaboratively. All you need to do in order to do it is to show up, to have an open mind, be present in the moment, and to listen, and to what's commonly referred to as yes and. So you're always yesing your partner on stage when they're throwing things at you, instead of being like, oh no, it's not, the sky is not melting right now, don't be stupid, instead you're like, yes, the sky is melting, and then you build on that. So anybody can do improv. It's just about allowing yourself to have an open mind and to show up and to collaborate with other people on stage. The reason why I love it so much is because I am somebody who gets stuck in their head a lot. I love to live in my head. And I love to have control. Like I have a type A personality. I know we've bonded on that level too. We're kind of similar that way, where we like to be in control of things. And with improv, you cannot be in control. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what your partners, your teammates are going to throw at you on stage, and you have to be in the moment. You cannot be thinking of anything else. So when I'm doing improv, that's my time that I have set aside every week to get outside of my comfort zone and to really live in the moment. And I love it so much. That's why I do it 3 times a week. I hope to keep doing it. Improv Asylum, other places. It's actually the reason I moved to Boston back in March, was to pursue comedy, specifically improv. I don't know where I'll be going next or how you build a career on it necessarily, like how you get paid. It's hard to
become the next Tracy Ullman, of course.
I wouldn't complain
have you
about
get your
that.
own show.
I would not complain about that. In the meantime, I just want to keep doing it, you know, classes, workshops, performances, all of that. I'd hope to get back to teaching it as well. I really love teaching it. So yeah, that's my improv spiel.
Okay.
Love it.
I just have no idea how you're talking right now.
So
because
are you having a harder time?
Dying. I'm dying.
You were
This
like,
is
oh,
painful.
this isn't hot at all.
Yeah, those are usually the famous last words.
Just saying.
Imagine an improv event where everyone
has to do oh my god,
hot sauce.
And then they have to perform like
Yeah.
a set of scenes.
Yeah.
That would be
Torturous.
fun.
Diabolical.
I was gonna say fun.
Something you would do.
There are shows that happen in Boston, whether it's like a stand-up comedy or improv, where people will take like edibles or they'll get high
Really?
and then they'll perform.
Is that legal?
Like,
I guess.
pretty sure in Massachusetts, the venues are
But
doing
for the
it.
audience, is the audience like aware that the
there'll
people
be
entertaining them are high?
Yeah. And I do know at like Improv Asylum, they do a show at night at like 10 p.m. or midnight called Ranch, where the cast is actually getting drunk and performing improv too. So
like drunk history, but for improv.
Yeah,
I love it.
So, but it would be fun to do it with that.
Well.
All right, we'll move on.
Yeah.
To our fourth one.
Yeah,
This
not
one,
really.
My lips are hurting. This is Angry Goat Pepperco, Dreams of Calypso.
Why?
Super hot Caribbean style hot sauce. So we'll eat. Because I know it's getting a little bit hotter, I'm gonna ask a question and then eat it.
Okay.
So we've already talked about your film career. I want to ask, are there any specific moments or projects that stand out to you as a turning point in your career? And if so, what are they? And what challenges did you face when enduring them?
I think you're talking about my film career, right? Specifically?
Specifically, yeah.
And I have to eat and talk? Oh, this is awful. But it's for a good cause. What happens if you swallow it whole? Like if you like do like a bird thing where you just
cheating. I think that's cheating.
and it goes straight down.
It's got to explode on your taste buds.
It wouldn't hurt on your esophagus, right?
Probably. This is gonna hurt all over. This is also why I preemptively took Pepto and also brought it here in case you need it or if I need more of it.
You should have 2 shot glasses that we can clink at the end. Okay. Let's see, where do I begin? Okay. Think before the heat clouds my mind and ability to
projects,
function. Projects.
Or moments in your career.
Moments in my career, so my film career.
Really stand out to you as a turning point.
Well, I will say that for the last year, since January, I've been working on the greatest project of my career. It's about Lois Weber, who is the greatest female filmmaker in all of history. And my tongue hurts.
It really does. It hurts so bad.
It's swelling, and I can't stop sweating. I'm sorry, Lois.
It looks so much easier when you're not doing this.
I'm going to try to articulate. Okay, so challenges. Well, so first of all, it started with a conversation with a very good friend of mine, an actress who'd had a unsettling experience on a film set she had been on, and she chose to leave the project. And wanting to comfort her, I said, what's your dream role? And she described a woman that I had recently learned about named Lois Weber. And Lois Weber was famous during the silent film period, and she made somewhere between 200 and 400 films in her lifetime. But these were groundbreaking films. She's basically the mother of film. She sort of invented narrative filmmaking, the film that we take for granted nowadays. She put a lot of heart and soul into her stories, and she was quite good at it. And she was also very, very powerful during a time when women didn't even have the right to vote, own their own property, have bank accounts. Can you hear what's happening to me?
It's harder to I'm doing fine because I don't have to talk. But it's really hard when you have to talk, yeah.
So long story short, I had this conversation with her and launched into production, writing and producing and getting this short film made. It started as a micro short. It turned into a short film, and now it's being turned into a feature film. The hurdles that we faced, of course, are, it's a period piece, which is very hard. The story takes place from 1920 to 1939, so a long time. And of course, trying to source costumes and props and wigs and makeup. I mean, the amount of research just was insane. Yeah. And for me particularly, this was a real person. So I was really trying to honor the real person, the real story, and do justice to it. But for me, the reason why it is such an important project in my career, why it's so life-changing, is because it's not just a film, it's really a movement. Yeah. What I am attempting to do is sort of rewrite film history, because as we've seen so many times, women really oftentimes get left out of the storyline. We've seen it in space, we've seen it in animation. The women who have contributed to those fields it gets brushed aside. And so my belief is that, as a female filmmaker, and you know this too, because there's still gender inequality in our field, my theory is that a big part of that has to do with people not knowing their history. And I think if people knew that women were there and very pivotal in the foundation of this industry, then they wouldn't be asking for a seat at the table, because you don't need to ask for a seat at a table that you helped build. Exactly. So that's why this film means so much to me, and it's taken over my whole life, and we're at the very beginning of the feature film process, and so I anticipate I have another 2-3 years of work ahead of me. But it's very exciting work, because I'm just so incredibly passionate about it, and that's my number one suggestion for anyone. If you're going to make a film, make sure it's a topic or a person that you're really passionate about, because the amount of work you're going to have to do,
oh my God,
and it's just as much work whether you make a bad film or a good film, so you might as well make a good one, but it's just so much work. Make sure it's a topic you really love.
Absolutely, because you are going to be in the trenches.
I don't know how I got through that, but there was a certain point where I realized if I kept talking, it was actually making the heat go away.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good to know. Jeez, okay. You did. You explained that beautifully, considering.
That was awful.
Oh my God. We only have 2 left, but they are the 2 hottest.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
This one is Taco Vibes Only Hot Sauce.
But I love tacos. Tacos. That's deceivingly.
You're gonna see. And we did actually get these hot sauces from the official Hot Ones website, I believe. So these are actually from the YouTube series. So this one, you wanna ask me a question and then? I really am so nervous.
You can start eating, and I will eat while you answer. All right? All right, here we go. So, because you are such a prankster, you really are. This is maybe even almost my way of getting revenge on you for this whole thing.
I'm a prankster?
I would say so. You're enjoying this a little too much for my taste.
I'm suffering too. I am suffering too. My heart is beating so fast.
Oh God, don't die on me. Okay, so I'm gonna put you on the spot with an old classic riddle.
I'm so bad at riddles.
Name your top 3 celebrity crushes.
Oh my God.
Which one would you choose to marry, sleep with, or kill?
Oh my gosh, 3? I have to come up with 3?
You have to come up with 3, and you have to marry one, sleep with one, and kill the other.
Okay, the hardest part of this is going to be coming up with 3. All right, Mia Goth is my number 1 favorite celebrity crush. She's kind of a horror actress. She's done Pearl and X. Beautiful, lovely woman. She's so talented.
She's not classically beautiful.
No, and that's what I love about her. She's also insanely talented. Who else? Oh man, I don't pine over celebrities that often.
Well, I know, that's why this is a tough question. Better get to thinking.
Okay, second one, I'll go for Jennifer Lawrence for the second celebrity crush, and then a third one, I'll go for a male.
Jennifer Lawrence is gorgeous.
And so insanely talented.
Actually, okay, that wasn't hot at all. I'm sorry. That was not even hot.
My third one's going to be Aubrey Plaza, actually.
I don't know who that is.
Parks and Rec.
Oh, yes, the cynical one.
Oh. So I have to, what again?
You have to tell me which one you would marry, sleep with, and kill, and why.
Marry Mia
Yeah,
Goth.
that one's coming up from behind.
Marry Mia Goth. She's total wife material. I would have a very happy life with her. I would kill Jennifer Lawrence because I want to be the funnier one in the relationship, and she's funnier than me, so no thank you. She's too funny. Third, I'd sleep with Aubrey Plaza. Yeah, I think she would be my go-to. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to elaborate because I'm in so much pain.
And we're gonna send this to them.
Oh my
so that they
God,
can...
Mia Goth, if you're watching this, I love you. My divorce goes through in 3 months, and then I can marry again. So please hit me up, Mia
If you're
Goth.
single.
If you're single, if you're in a relationship, I respect that. Yeah.
Poor Jennifer Lawrence, though.
She's too funny. And you know what? Aubrey Plaza is very funny, too. So it's almost like if I were to date her or be in a relationship with her, we would, again, compete. I don't want to be in a relationship with somebody who's funnier than me. I want to be the comedian.
Yeah, that's like me. I don't like to date men that are better looking than me. I'm sorry. I will be the hot one in this relationship.
You know, it's good to have your standards. It's good to know. Wow, that is so spicy.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't feel it at first, and now it just keeps coming.
It's in my ears. God. It's in my ears. It's in my ears. Okay.
I'm not happy, and I'm almost out of beverages, but I brought my own. I have more.
So, moving on to my last question for Gabby.
All right, let's make it quick. Make it snappy.
Before we get to the last stab, actually. Here.
No, don't even think about it. You're insane.
The last stab, Apollo. So we already drenched the chicken wing in it, but as they do in the YouTube series, they put a little bit extra on it.
Oh,
so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put a little bit extra on it.
Oh God.
This is if you know the Scoville measuring unit, it's 2.5 million on the Scoville unit.
I'm burping. I'm burping. Did you hear that? I'm sorry. Okay, just one. That's it. That was too much.
All right, so
I'm
I'm
scared.
gonna eat this. I'm gonna ask the question for.
Oh, I have to talk?
No, yeah.
How dare you? That's why you wanted me to go first. You crazy woman.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I did this on purpose. Okay, my last question for you is: if you had an unlimited budget and access to any celebrity in Hollywood, anything at all, what movie would you make? What would the premise be about? And who would you cast as the leading stars? And I do not want to put this in my mouth.
Okay. It's
I'm
funny.
I'm shaking.
It's funny that we both had the celebrity questions at the end.
Yeah, we didn't go over the last question. The last question
No.
was about the secret for we left it a secret for both of us. And you want to cheers?
Sure.
Cheers. Cheers to filmmaking and cheers to giving for the holiday season.
Are you doing one whole bite?
Yep.
Cheers to giving back and cheers to the film gods. Please see our sacrifice.
This is going to be a sneaky one. I know this is going to sneak
Oh
up.
no. Oh no. Oh no.
Because it's not here right now.
Oh no. No.
It's
no,
like
it's
it's
there.
like Krampus. He's going to come down the chimney and bust in and murder you.
No. No, I can. It's like. Oh,
Here we go.
Crap.
Here we go.
So what film do I want to remake?
No. What film would you make if you had an unlimited budget and unlimited access to anybody in Hollywood?
I mean, I don't even know if I can answer that question. I'm sorry. I think for me, like films that I would love to make. Oh my God. Oh my God. How you doing? Not good.
Terrible.
Oh.
Truly terrible.
Okay, my dream film to make is I want to make The Hairy Ape. I read the play. Have you ever heard of it? Oh, is that funny to you? Is that real funny to you? And I'd cast like Gary Oldman because he's just a great actor. Okay? He'd be the hairy ape. Oh my God. Breathing
Breathing makes it worse.
I think I got it in my eyeball. Yeah, because I wiped my eye with my napkin.
I need to drool. I need to
I can't open my
spit.
eye.
I need to spit. Ow. And never again. Okay? This is our second time doing this. This time is much worse, I think. And never again.
All right, so to recap, you said Gary Ape and Gary Oldman?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
All
look at you.
right.
You're crying.
You're crying too. We are all crying because we are just so happy to be giving this holiday season. I think it's about time we wrap this up.
We done. Yeah. I think it's about time we done.
We done. Thank you, Sue Morancic, everybody at SCTV. Because of this, we are donating to an elder Sandwich resident to help pay for their fuel bill.
Which is
This
awesome.
holiday season.
So awesome.
We hope you enjoyed this, and we will see you again when we decide to do this again.
Never again.
Thank you. Goodbye.